called me a gold digger before they even knew my last name. So I invited them to a place that would rewrite everything they thought they knew. I met Ethan at a small bookstore cafe in Seattle where I worked weekends just to feel normal, apron tied over ripped jeans, hair always in a messy bun. He was studying architecture, quiet, thoughtful, the kind of guy who noticed the books I read instead of the brands I wore. What I loved most was that he never asked what my family did, never Googled me, never cared. After years of men treating me like an investment opportunity, Ethan treated me like a person. So I let him believe the version of me that felt real. Someone who just helped out with family business. His family, though, had already written their own story about me. His sister, Claire, sized me up the moment we met, eyes lingering on my thrifted jacket like it offended her. "So what exactly do you do?" she asked with a tight smile. "Real estate," I said simply. His brother, Mark, smirked. "Like renting out basements?" I laughed it off, but the comments didn't stop. Claire would whisper to Ethan about how I probably couldn't afford his lifestyle. Mark joked loudly about prenups at dinner. His mom, Linda, played sweet but constantly hinted that some girls look for stability more than love. When Ethan proposed with a simple ring he'd saved months for, I said yes without hesitation, but his family? They staged a full-on confrontation. Claire accused me of planning to leave him once I got access. Mark demanded legal protection over Ethan's assets, which barely covered his student loans. Linda cried like I'd already ruined his life. Ethan defended me, said I'd never asked him for anything, that I even paid my share. But they didn't listen. That's when I decided to end the story they had created. I told my parents I was bringing guests to the house that weekend. They laughed because they knew exactly what that meant. When we drove up, Ethan's family assumed we'd taken a wrong turn. The private road stretched longer than they expected, the gates opening silently, revealing acres of land they couldn't process. Claire whispered, "This can't be right." It was. The house stood there, massive, historic, unapologetically grand. My parents were waiting at the entrance like it was any normal Sunday, along with my brother who handled our investment firm and my aunt who ran our hospitality chain. Ethan already knew the truth. I'd told him the night before, but his family didn't. Lunch was served overlooking the lake, staff moving seamlessly around us. My dad casually mentioned expansion projects in New York and London. My mom asked Ethan about his career plans like he was already family. Claire barely spoke. Mark kept checking his surroundings like reality might glitch. Afterward, Claire finally broke. "Why didn't you tell us who you are?" I looked at her calmly. "Because you already decided who I was." Silence hit harder than anything else I could have said. Linda started apologizing, her voice shaky. Mark mumbled something about misunderstanding. Claire just stared at the table, her confidence gone. Ethan reached for my hand, smiling softly. "Guess I'm the one who got lucky." We still had a small wedding, nothing extravagant, because that's who we are. But something shifted that day. They stopped questioning me, stopped measuring me. And every Thanksgiving when we go back to that estate, I show up in my same old bookstore clothes, just to remind them how wrong first impressions can be. For more stories like this, make sure to subscribe. Thank you.